But here, since we're at vegan camp out, you're actually celebrating, am I right, 10 years of being a vegan?
Yeah, it is 10 years. Yeah, well done. Yeah, I hadn't thought, it's
the one bit of research I did.
Yeah, yeah.
Thank God it was correct.
Yeah,
so how is what is, over the last 10 years, obviously, it's massive life change you've taken on. What has been like the biggest alteration to your life that you feel being a vegan has brought to you?
Well, the truth is, I think it's kind of changed. I've seen it change. Like, when you talk to the old school vegans, when they talk about living off Weetabix and prayer, do you know what I mean? Like, it was really hard.
Yeah.
I mean, so I don't want to start talking about how hard it was for me.
Yeah.
But what I would say is that I would like to consider myself a low maintenance guy.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't really want to cause a fuss.
Yeah.
So when I first went vegan, like, the problem was that every time you go to a restaurant, even if they've got a vegetarian option, you'd have to change it. There'd be cheese in it or whatever. Do you know what I mean? So you go, could I have that? But could you alter it? Because da-da-da. And I hated doing that, to be honest with you. So a lot of the times I would not eat just because I just think I can't be asked to have this conversation, or they might ask why and blah, blah, blah. And as the years have gone on, I just think that's disappeared. Like, I go on tour a lot.
Yeah.
And I can't think, I remember once being on my way to, I can't remember where I was on my way to, but I tweeted, does anybody know any good vegan spots in this town? Yeah. And I just got abuse for suggesting there wouldn't be vegan spots in this. What, do you think we're all savages? What? Oh, right, so we're not going to have vegan spots? I was like, oh, shit. And I was just trying to do a bit of local research, do you know what I mean? So I think it's got loads easier. I think, to be absolutely honest with you, when I thought about going vegan, 10 years ago, when I was like looking into, because I've been vegetarian since I was like 12 years old. Like, I came home and I just said, I don't want to eat meat anymore.
Yeah. How'd that go?
My mum was cool with it, actually, because like my family, my mum and dad are Hindu. Okay. Well, my dad's no longer with us. He ate a lot of meat, but like, so my mum actually sort of thought it was quite a cool spiritual thing. But when I decided to go vegan, I sort of looked on all of the forums in it, and like some of it I felt like, shit, this isn't something, I don't know if I am that person. Do you know what I mean? Because people are very passionate about it, and I understand, and I was and am passionate about it, but in a different way. I think I'm not a particularly militant guy. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So when I first started reading about it, I was like, oh, I don't know, but I think I feel like it's something that's like got better and better, and I find it really, I mean, I love it. I mean, it doesn't, like, I don't feel like, I know the old joke about vegans is how do you know someone's a vegan? They'll tell you. But I feel like I don't have to tell people. Do you know what I mean? Like, you can live that lifestyle without having to announce it now. And I think I'm not saying that that's the right way, but what I mean is it's not something that you have to wear on your sleeve if you don't want to. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? And I think that if somebody's thinking, I want to be vegan, but I don't want to have to shout about it, you don't, is the truth. Do you know what I mean? If you want to follow that lifestyle, but you don't want to be this kind of person dominating the chat by going, well, actually, you can. And I think that is, for me personally, I think that is a great thing for people who are thinking about doing it.
Yeah, I completely agree with you on that. If you look at the festival that we have here, you've, I think, 13,000 people, and the vibe is just incredible. You go out there, everyone is so happy, and one thing is because they're catered to, but both musically and food-wise, but also it's just a great community to be part of. Yeah. And everyone's enjoying themselves, which I'm sure you'll find out. Well, by the time this goes out, your set will be done. I'm sure it went amazingly. But,
well, we don't know, do we?
Yeah, we hope.
Like, for all we know, I could stop being vegan as a result of how badly this goes.
That'd be super take. Yeah. I don't know if we can put that on a marquee. To finish up, and I'm dying to ask you about this. This is slightly not vegan whatsoever. Sure. But I have warned you that I'm going to ask you about football, and I am wearing a football jersey. Yeah. Arsenal have made, thank you. Arsenal made 3 big signings. Yeah. How are you feeling about them?
I am. Look, man. Last season, I've got 3 sons who are hardcore Gooners. Yeah. And I've been a hardcore Gooner, as was my dad. And my oldest son's 13 years old, and he has seen Arsenal sort of on the slide a little bit. Do you know what I mean? Like, I had to show him videos of Thierry Henry, like, in his pomp. Do you know what I mean? And go, we were like amazing, man. We were amazing. Yeah. Really good. Yeah. And so last season, I level with you. I didn't think we were going to win the league because I just feel like Man City are so good. But I was still excited to be supporting the team that was in and around it. Do you know what I mean? And for my boys who had more belief than I did, like taking them to the games and stuff and them being really into it was a really cool thing. I'm not answering your question at all. So with respect to next season, I think obviously those signings are great, and I think Arteta is doing great things. I do believe in his vision. My slight counterbalance to that is I think all the other teams are stepping their game up as well, and I feel like, look, I think if we get top 4 next season, I'll be delighted.
Yeah.
Any better than that, I'll be amazed. Not amazed, that's an exaggeration, but I consider that over and above.
Would you say this is Arteta's? I personally think this is his first like proper. He's been invested in like 3 really, really well habits. But like, and Declan Rice, I have opinions on him.
Yeah.
More, personal. But Timber, yeah.
So what you meant to say is one great signing.
Yeah, one quality guy. Yeah, and 2 who will try their best. Yeah. But there's no excuses. There's no.
No.
Yeah.
And I think that, I've been, as an Arsenal fan, I've been sat watching us talk about us being a work in progress for a long time.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And I do think this is his first. Yeah, I think this is first. And there's lots of articles going around at the moment about how this is where we really kind of. He can't say this isn't my team. Do you know what I mean? It's his setup and whatever. So we'll see what happens.
To see us out, okay? Because that we just immediately aged this video by talking about something that's happening right now.
Sure.
I'm going to ask you for your favorite ever. 2 questions actually. Favorite vegan meal, so we stick to type, and also favorite Arsenal memory as a football fan.
Okay, my favorite vegan meal is actually not vegan by design. It's my mum's aubergine curry. It's not very good for you, I would say. She she deep fries the aubergine before she curries it.
Okay.
But it's like crack, man. I mean, it's insane. And I for years and years and years I've been eating it and loved it.
Yeah.
And she said to me, I'm not going to give you the recipe. I think partly because she wanted me to keep coming round. I mean, I did a show with Rob Beckett, Versus. We did the restaurants one.
Yeah.
And I said, I want to serve your aubergine curry at the restaurant. And then she finally gave me the recipe. And I've not seen her since. No, I'm joking. I still do go around. But that's like aubergine curry, rice, bit of dal.
Yeah. You should get your mum to set up a stall here.
Mate.
She would, like, after the recommendation you're doing now,
she would smell.
Like, she would kill it,
And then favourite Arsenal memory is probably when we did the double in 01, I think. Like, that was like...
Really? Not the Invincibles?
The Invincibles was great, man, but I had a personal journey on that season.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, I went to loads of the games. I was... and that was like, listen, I love Arsenal as much as I ever have done.
Yeah.
But then, if they lost, I would cry. Do you know what I mean? Like, it was so hardwired into... Like, my mood was so dependent on how Arsenal did. And I'm not like that now. Well, I see it in my kids. So, like, when you have that... Look, the Invincible season was unbelievable. But I was like in. Do you know what I mean? Like my life depended on them.
I remember.
Do you know what I mean?
I've kept this quiet for the interview, but I am actually a Man United fan.
Right.
And I remember that season. I remember you win at Old Trafford.
Yeah.
And Sylvan Wiltord going around Barnes.
Yeah.
And putting it. And I was as into it as you were back then, but devastatingly bawling my eyes out, crying, listening to it on the radio.
Yeah.
So. One was a dark moment for me, it was a light moment for you.
Sure.
But it brings us together.
Yeah. Listen, I'm getting fed up of seeing that FA Cup goal when you guys won the treble. So that makes you feel any better.
Thank you. I need
every single time a list of top FA Cup goals gets put together, I have to watch that and just go, why aren't you closing in on him? Why are you giving him so much space? But they weren't.
It's like Joaquin, why didn't you just take him down? Take the booking. Do you know? And like, I remember watching it as a kid and I was losing my mind. But like, there was a lot of sense,
Yeah.
Well, Romesh, thank you so much.
No worries.
Absolute legend. I appreciate it. Cheers. Good luck with the set tonight, which was amazing, I'm sure.
Yeah,
perfect.
We'll hope.